Hello, my name is Lisa. This is Where I Sew. You're very welcome. Today I'm not sewing. I'm going to be reviewing a book that is very close to my heart because it's on a subject, it's inspired by a subject, a topic, a culture, an influence, an obsession of mine, which is all things Japanese. The book is called Stylish Dress Book and it's written by Yoshiko Tsukiori. It's published by Tuttle, who are a very well-established publishing company founded in 1832, specifically to bring all ideas, Japanese or Eastern, to the West. 1832, that's a long time ago. Anyway, where was I? Yes, it is £14.92 sterling on Amazon, £18 and a few cents US dollars. So, as is the case and the usual standard procedure with these types of books, the patterns are in the back in an envelope, and these are the technical details. There are 26 patterns in here, so whether that's in sterling or dollars, that's quite a haul. The patterns, standard for these types of books, are all superimposed on each other in fold out sheets like this. Now, if you've never done these before, they can be very intimidating, but once you get used to them, you're fine. You trace out the size that you've measured yourself at, and then you locate it on any of these pieces. The wonderful thing about how they've done these is that there's like a table of contents on the front. So whichever pattern or design that you've decided on here, they're done alphabetically. So it's dress A, dress B, locate it here. So you're not spending hours in a TP of folded out paper, completely losing your reason. Half the work is done for you. So I found that. I really liked that. It was so efficient and time saving and kept the frustration levels nice and low. The one thing to remember about a Japanese pattern is that your seam allowance is not included in here. So when you are tracing out your pattern, remember to include your 5/8 of an inch, whatever you've decided your seam allowance to be. Do include it, or you're going to be wearing something that doesn't fit you. There is a size chart in here as well. Important information. And here are estimates of what their 16 coordinates to, like what the sizes are for their patterns that they have. So in this particular instance, their 16 is a 40.5 inch bust, a 33 inch waist. 16. I beg to differ, but anyway, 43 3/4 hips. So it really does highlight the fact that you need to bear in mind that you should read the sizing on any pattern that you buy. Don't presume that their 16 is your 16. It is only a number and it will break your heart. So bear that in mind. Let me think. I don't know if this says that those are finished garment sizes. That's interesting. Anyway, back to the aesthetic. The aesthetic of this book is what drew it to me. So as I've said, I'm obsessed with all things Japanese. And amongst that obsession are the diversity, the imagination behind the street fashions and the youth fashions and the fashion subcultures that are just multifarious, endless. And to me, I think the inspiration for this, it's only an opinion, so don't come for me, is a thing called Mori, which I think translates as forest girl, forest fashion, somewhere in and around there. To wit, very floaty, very dreamy, very soft, feminine, muted colours. So here, for an example, these muted grey, blues, matte chalky whites, soft ferny greens, cream, a black that's not a black, it's more like a very deep toned purple, all worn layered. So lots of these are smocks and tunics that you would layer on top of each other, just say without anything underneath for the summer, or in the winter then a rolled neck long sleeve with your boots, nice big chunky cardigan, sloppy, you know those ruchy socks, the really bulky socks that you see the Japanese girls wearing, you know, soft hats. It's not quite granny fashion, but it certainly is that, but with a Japanese twist on it. So it takes it to something very romantic and dreamy, which also, when you were very obviously in this book, I don't think any of the patterns have any zips. I don't think any zips turn up anywhere, but there are a lot of these long buttoned fronts with like lovely details like mother of pearl buttons. So I think for a more advanced sewer who's comfortable doing finishing a buttonhole and a placket, there's that. This is also, if you're fairly new to sewing, there are a couple of patterns that are, there was one which is really, really simple. It's a very round, just a round necked, sleeveless A-line dress with 2 darts, a couple of little pleats here at the front and a bit of bias binding. And then if you want to step it up, it'll take you through. If you're maybe an intermediate sewer, the challenge, that the next opportunity then is to maybe make some interesting sleeves. Now what I'm wearing today is one that I made earlier. So it's got these, see, fabulous half circled wide floaty sleeves. I've done this in white linen and I intend to wear it for the summer, and it's so comfortable and it's so lovely, and there's tiny little sort of just like pleated details. I'll put a picture of myself up wearing it, complete with the animal bites or insect bites that I got on my legs doing the gardening. So here's an added bonus for anybody. Yeah, so that's the overall aesthetic about it all. They also suggest, the book suggests, pushes, shall I say, that if you're making these, do them in Liberty cotton, Liberty print. So it's that very sort of, very feminine, very, the Liberty prints don't appeal to me personally, but I tend to use block colours. The other pieces, I've made a couple of pieces. The other piece that I did has a split sleeve. It was the first time that I did it and I was really pleased. The instructions for making the outfits, I found them so easy to read. In fact, easier than, you know, your standard Western pattern, which are you kind of have to almost be psychic to work out what they're talking about. These are really clearly labelled. They walk you through it sort of logically, step by step. So you're now doing step 2, and then you get a diagram of what step 2 should look like, which is like on this one, it's the neckline and the facing, and you do this. I loved it. Overall, this is a tremendous book for anybody who is starting out in sewing or who has already moved quite a fair bit along. My only gripe, my only moan, the models. They all look like they could do with a jolly good feed. Maybe some sort of like happiness therapy. They look so sad, they look miserable, and they look like they're freezing cold. But I don't know if that's part of the aesthetic, that there's this kind of self-absorbed, slightly removed from it all look on the face of these girls. They're super, super thin, painfully thin, and their skin looks blue. That was the only off-putting thing about it. But other than that, adore it. And of course, there are thousands of these, and you can get one for kids, and they've all got this very minimalist, very clean, very, you know, very straightforward, very attractive. But this is a great place to start. Apropos of all things Japanese, if you are in London, or if you live in London and you love things Japanese, from the 12th to the 14th at London Olympia, which is in Kensington, there is the Hyperjapan Festival. Now, I can't wait. I just love the enthusiasm that Japanese bring to dressing up. So it's very interesting on the website that they do tell you, if you are going to come with a bladed weapon of any description, you're not getting in. It'll be taken off you. So if you are working on your favourite ninja assassin outfit, you're not getting in with one of those throwing stars or anything. So yeah, just keep it clean. I myself am going to dress up. I haven't worked out what it's going to be yet. My youngest daughter has disowned me. She said there's no way she's going to walk down the street with me. So I've won parenting. That's me, self-appointed parent of the year. She's thoroughly embarrassed. I live to do these things. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to put a link for my favourite DIY upcycling kind of a goddess. Her name is Annika Victoria, I'm not sure, but I'll put the link down below. Now she does lots of upcycled, like turning your favourite shirt into 3-piece suite or something like that. She's very clever, very personable, but definitely, again, very influenced by Japanese street fashion, that kind of feel about it, quirkiness. And she's done a few vlogs, fabric shopping in the fabric area in Tokyo. And it is like another, it's absolutely amazing. There is nothing like it anywhere that I've ever been, either in London or, I mean, I don't know what's going on in England that you just, there just obviously isn't the demand for it. But anyway, go and watch her and enjoy her. And she's just so attractive and personable. And I love her. I think she's wonderful. So I put her contact below, her link. I will work out what all these things mean in the fullness of time. Sounds like my neighbour has stopped deconstructing his house. So give me a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and come along to Olympia. It'll be fun. So I'll see you next week with something else. I don't know yet, just making it up as I go along. Bye for now.